Everybody, my name is Katerina and today we'll be talking about trauma and our response to trauma. So our response to trauma is formed in our childhood, just like most of our responses, most of our patterns and beliefs. There are three ways to respond to trauma or to threat according to trauma therapy, to psychosomatic knowledge, and there are fight, flight, and freeze. Most of you probably are familiar with two of them, with flight and the fight. Usually though, those two, when we're children, they're not available to us because we are not able to fight or we're not able to leave the place and a situation of a trauma, of abuse, of a shock, of a threat. And what our body and mind choose to do is to freeze. Freezing is an animal response. Freezing is also a human response since we are animals as well. And a lot of times freezing allows us to stay safe, to survive, and actually to save our life. And saving our life is very important for our animal nature. Unfortunately, because we learn to freeze, we bring it into adulthood. And what does this mean? It means a protection. It means self-protection mechanism against everything, pretty much everything, against emotions, against feelings, and against very deep conversations and relationships, against experienced love, accepting love, and also giving love, against compassion, against real vulnerability, very deep feeling. We protect ourselves so much that we actually end up in this completely frozen state, just like Elsa in Frozen, in that cartoon Frozen, right? We miss out on all of the life experiences because it's so scary to feel, it's so scary to get out of there. And that is our pattern. We don't even realize that this is how we behave. For example, if somebody at your job starts raising a voice at you, starts being aggressive towards you, or starts reprimanding you for something, what happens with you? You freeze. You freeze, you don't respond because you can't respond because this person might be in a position of power. So you freeze, you dissociate, and you think you handle the situation well. As a result, what happens, you have this energy coming at you, and freezing is great because you're protecting yourself from this negative, aggressive energy, but your body still holds it. So then what's important is to realize that you froze, to realize that that this just happened with your body, and defrost, right? It's very important to defrost, which means release that energy back. How do we do this? We do this through conversation, we do this through therapy, we do this through yoga, we do this through movement. We need to allow this energy to move out of our body. Same happens with fight or flight. For example, when we were kids, we were not able to flee, we're not able to leave, right? But we wanted to. So what happens now, anytime we are in an uncomfortable situation, most likely with our partner or with our friends or with people around us, what we do is, I like to say, we start packing our bags, we start packing our little suitcase, and our solution to the problem is to run. We run, we leave the relationship, we leave the friendships, and usually that's also through a fight mechanism. First, we're screaming and yelling, and then we're shutting the door and leaving, right? That is not healthy. That is not a good self-regulation response. That is a response coming from fear, not a grown-up adult reaction to a situation. So it's very important to start to unwrap these responses, to start to understand that these reactions are reactions that you learned in childhood in attempt to protect yourself. You're still doing this, but now your protection turns into you actually limiting yourself in your life, limiting yourself in your relationships, in really going deep and working through things, because relationships are the best instruments that allow us to face our own insecurities, our own fears, our own patterns. They are incredible for our evolution, for our growth. It's just unfortunately we're so scared to go there and to listen and to talk that we end up packing up our little suitcase and, like Elsa, going into the next relationship without fixing things, another job without fixing things, or coming home and start taking all of the prescription medication just to fill this void, to fill this hole, to feel this fear and anger possibly that's stored in us, that loneliness. And that is actually a dead end. So let's try to start unwrapping this world that's inside of us, and learning about our responses to a dangerous for us, which are very real dangerous for us situations. As always, thank you for listening. Comments below or in the messages, and until next time.